Everybody, and welcome to the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 136. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat, join on the conversation. If you're a subscriber over there, we'd love to have you in on all the fun. But if you can't catch live, that's a-okay. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's dropped topic by topic, and also put as one video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, help us out, and we would love you for it. Back with another solo cast after last week's insanity, off the railsness. If you watched it, listened to it, thank you for doing that. Hope you had fun with it. This week we're back. Definitely more of a focused podcast, I guess you could say. A little bit more condensed. Might be quick. We'll see. Just two topics today. I want to talk about first, for topic number one, I want to talk about the state of play that PlayStation had last Thursday, June 2nd, as of recording, and talk about the reveals that they had from there and the announcements, and just give my thoughts about what they talked about. So first things first, is they revealed that Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake, similar to what they've done with Resident Evil 2, along with 3, and that will be coming to consoles next year. So, excited for that. What they did with 2 and 3 was fantastic. I never played the original Resident Evils because, well, I'm a chicken, and was quite scared at the time for that. But then once RE7 came out, watching some other content creators, shout out to Maximilian Dude, and Video Games, them playing it, just got me kind of intrigued to try the series out myself. So I started with 7, and then RE2 remake, or remaster, whatever you want to call it, came out later after that. So I tried that. Then 3, obviously 8 dropped last year. So now excited to hop into 4, just with obviously the rehash of graphics and the changes that they might make. I've heard 4's iffy, or at least from what I recall of also watching Max play RE4, it's definitely different. It's going to pick up with the Leon story once again, where he's going to go after Raccoon City in RE2. And I don't know a whole lot about this game, but it does seem it takes a step away from the quality of 2 and 3. So we'll have to see how the remaster remake, once again, I don't fucking know the difference, see how that those things change. I know it's like big on a cult that you're dealing with, so we'll have to see if it makes sense at all, or at least that story continues. RE definitely jumps around with stuff, and sometimes it's not always the best. But I think RE4 was the start of the downhill, if I'm understanding correctly, moving into 5, and then the atrocity that was 6, from what I can hear from other players, people who have gone through those through the PlayStation era in the past, and Xbox technically. So yeah, cool to see that. Apparently they're going to have some VR components involved with it as well with PlayStation VR 2. I don't know if I'm going to really dive into VR 2. I did with the first iteration on PlayStation, and to be honest, it was a lot of fun. There are games that are a blast on there. RE7 scary as shit. Beat Saber, I know, is obviously on PC as well, but that's a blast. Job Simulator was a lot of fun. Batman Arkham VR was fun. It was a good time. I don't know if I'll dive into the second iteration of it. Once again, not because the games weren't fun. It's just obviously that's a whole nother component to buy. And then the thing that was kind of a hassle with VR1, and I get it, it's its first iteration. There's a lot of trial and error, things they need to learn of how the hardware works, the software works, whatever, is its setup. It was not convoluted, but it was just kind of, what's the word I want to use? Not annoying, but along the same kind of cumbersome. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. It was just a whole thing to set up, and then streaming, like making sure all the HDMIs are in the right spot. You could swear they are, but for some reason something's in the opposite spot. The tether you had to have to the headset, sometimes that could kind of get in the way. So once again, I get it. VR, especially then, was very early in its development, whether it was PlayStation VR, whether it was the HTC Vive, I think it's called, or the Oculus. Obviously, I get it. It's early stuff. I don't know if I'll fully dive into VR2 because of, once again, the money investment, but then those games were fun, but they were relatively shorter experiences, so I don't know if I want to dive into that. I think I need more time to obviously see how the hardware does turn out, and then if the games are really that interesting. Like Moss and Moss 2, games I was interested in playing, at least Moss on VR1, but I don't know if that's enough to entice me to get this whole other addition to the console that's already, stabbing quite the hole into my bank. So we'll see from there. Maybe putting some more research into the Oculus and the Vive, seeing how they work. Seems like they have a smaller version of the VR system through Steam that works really well and doesn't require hookup. So maybe if it was something that avenue that was easier to set up to use, maybe that would be more appealing. But nonetheless, the fact that they are continuing to push the VR system, especially the VR2 coming out, and hearing that they're making components for RE4 for the VR2 is cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing it and experience, it through someone else. On the same tone, RE Village, aka RE8, is now in development for PSVR 2 as well, which is fantastic. The footage that they showed for that, you're straight in the game. It's going to be similar to a Resident Evil 7 experience where it's the entire game in VR. I was hoping for that at RE8 at launch, not necessarily for my experience, but just like that was so fascinating that was being done and both versions of the game would be available at launch. Unfortunately, obviously, didn't happen with RE8's launch, but the fact that they are developing that mode, it's going to be fun once again to experience it through someone else's eyes because it's a whole new experience. Obviously, the story is the same, the elements are the same, the levels, whatever you want to say, but like your personal experience is totally different. With RE7, going through the house is so much different. Dealing with Jack and the family, I can't remember the last name. Like just those horror elements hit a little bit different. Sounds hit different as you bump into a chair by accident or you hear something up on the second floor. It really stresses you out in the most immersive way possible to really get you in that experience. So seeing content creators play Village in VR, I'm excited to see if that gives them a better experience. I know Village was kind of hit or miss with some people. Some people really, really liked it. Some people didn't. Personally, Lady and I think we enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel the same horror-wise and like scary elements compared to an RE7 that we were just experiencing and watching. This felt more action-orientated, whereas a player, I thought that was fun and not as stressful at times, looking for ammunition, but definitely from a scary point of view, like maybe some things hit early on where like the tone set in of like they tried to make it scary and horror filled, but then once you started getting out of the village and going to the different children of what was the Madam something, I don't know, going into those different elements didn't really, they dropped those elements of fear and it was more of the story elements. There was one guy that was really gross. I don't know. But it didn't hit on all the points that 7 hit. So maybe the VR component will create something that adds to the experience for players. Let's see. Sticking with VR, a lot of VR announcements that they made. We got a full trailer for the VR2 experience for Horizon. It's not with Aloy, it's some other character. I don't know if they've named or revealed the name. Horizon Call of the Mountain. Looks cool, at least like seeing the world once again from that point of view, that perspective. But yeah, nothing that's going to sell me on the system. Looks cool, but that's about it. Same with The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. This is Chapter 2, so I'm assuming this is a sequel, once again, to the VR1. Another one that seems interesting in story. Don't think it will sell me on anything. And then the last VR thing I think we got was No Man's Sky is going to be launching on the PlayStation VR 2 at some point. No interest in No Man's Sky. I heard that game tanked when it first launched. I'm glad it's recouped and recovered and has become something that people actually care about. I don't know much about it. I've never seen an appeal of the space travel kind of elements they were showing. So, but, happy for those people that get to experience it with virtual reality. For the PC guys, the Spider-Man series, apparently both Spider-Man 2016 and Spider-Man Miles Morales are going to be jumping over to the the computer, the PC side of things. So, shut up. To the PlayStation. So good for them. Great games. Obviously, a little bit aged. But it's interesting to see PlayStation expand their audience more to the PC side of things with games like these. I think Horizon just came out in PC recently. I think Days Gone made the jump, and then Uncharted is rumored to also do that, unless that already did. I'm a fake fan. But interesting to see that they're expanding out to that audience, trying to get more sales, obviously, for their products. But we'll see how that takes off. We had an interesting indie title pop up. It's called Roller Drum, which was essentially a roller derby. So you're a player that's, skating around through all these ramps and whatnot, but it's also a shooter. Skate parks turn into bullet-ridden combat arenas and futuristic blood sport Roller Dome by OlliOlli World's creator. Okay. Looks smooth. Gameplay looked good. Another one I'm not sure if I'll fully dive into. Interesting concept, though, I guess. Another indie title they showed was Season: A Letter to the Future. This one seems very, low... Not low energy, that sounds bad, but, a very chill experience. Something you kind of take the load off, relax, experience this good narrative. Another one that I'm a little confused gameplay-wise of, what I will be doing as a player. They kind of jumped around here and there of different either story elements or elements of the gameplay, and it didn't really hook with me fully of, what I will be experiencing as the player. So I don't know if I'll jump into that, but I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this title, so excited for them. What else was there? Tunic is making its way to PlayStation. Was only on Xbox for this past year, so that would be coming out later this calendar year. So I don't know if it was a 6 months exclusive. I don't know if they had an official date on that, but playing Tunic on stream was a blast. I haven't finished it. Got a little lost the interest a little bit by taking a break from it, but it's a solid game. Obviously glad more people will be able to play it through the PlayStation system, so good on them. And then we get a super anime game. We got Eternights, questionable name, but it's a dating sim meets action adventure. It looked, lady said it looked very Persona-like, just with, the day cycles, managing your time and whatnot. I don't think this is a game for me. I've tried Persona out a few times, whether it's Persona 3, Persona 4, and I've enjoyed elements of it. Maybe it's a matter of, I need to dive farther into these titles to really get a little bit more out of it, because they are longer, I think they're JRPGs, longer titles that maybe with me playing a little bit more, I could kind of get a little bit more acclimated to what they're trying to do in those games. But yeah, Persona 3 was fun. I got stuck. I thought I did okay with prepping, but hard locked myself out of an area. And the Persona 4, I only played one stream's worth, but they both were intriguing enough, but not enough that I actively decided to go back with them. Maybe Persona 5, that's been on the backlog for some time. Maybe that will be more up my alley. So yeah, Eternights seems like it's on the same kind of wavelength of a Persona game, where it's this lifestyle sim, like you said, the dating sim, the action adventures, exploring dungeons, taking on these monsters. I don't know. I don't know if this will be something for me once again, but for people and fans of that genre, cool. Options for you and something to chase after. Let's see. Okay, and then I would say the big one for me was the Street Fighter 6 reveal. We did get a tease of this not too long ago. I think it was the end of Capcom's Fighter Cup, their like big championship, their big tournament. We got the teaser trailer, which showed Ryu and it showed Luke, and it showed this completely different art style, a little bit more heavy on the realistic styling, but then also this like graffiti based with how the motion looked between techniques or following techniques, and then the logo. And we got a full-on trailer now exploring more of that graphic style, which, I mean, very vivid in color, which makes it kind of exciting to look at. And yeah, just excited for another Street Fighter. This is the first one we've had in 6+ years. I never got fully into Street Fighter 5. Actually, any Street Fighter for that matter, but I've enjoyed watching other people play it. I'm excited to pick the brains of some of my fighting game friends like Dio and Danny, see what they think of the series going forward, what they want to look forward, or what they want to see from Street Fighter 6 when it does come out. The trailer was exciting. We got to see more of Ryu. We got to see more of Luke. We got Chun-Li's reveal. I'm a little back and forth on her look. Some of the forward-facing shots, her face is very triangular, at least her chin. And I'm like, okay. And then we got a new character, Jamie, who looks dope. I'm not going to lie. He might be the character I go with. He's got kind of like this breakdancing capoeira style, similar to Eddie Gordo in Tekken. So he looks really cool. Excited to try him out. At the very, very end, they showed a kind of like the online lobbies, what they were going to look like potentially, and they had a new challenger approaching screen in the very, very back, which you definitely miss, but I don't remember that character's name. I actually might be mixing up, I don't think I'm mixing up the character reveals, but let me double check. Where are you? Of course you're not going to tell me. Ryu, Chun-Li, Luke. It is Jamie. Okay, so yeah, Jamie is the character that was revealed. And then there was a character that was in the back. I don't recall what her name was, but seems like she'll be the next character that they will reveal eventually. And then there's a lot of leaks going around. Apparently the launch roster has been revealed. Potentially. Yeah, so there was like a roster of 16 characters that they showed. And Ken makes his return. And interesting enough, Ken is getting a very big lore, not change, but like evolution. So I don't know how much you guys know about Ken from Street Fighter, but Ken got married, had a kid. Apparently at this point his relationship has gone sour because he's been so focused on fighting tournaments, and he's kind of down in the dumps in this one, so it kind of sucks for Ken players seeing him in this kind of shitty state. But it's going to be interesting to see if any of this is true. I'm going to look it up off of Polygon right now. If you guys don't want to know, the characters, then just a heads up there. So I'm sorry. So another 18 fighters are rumored to appear in Street Fighter 6 based on an unconfirmed but legitimate-looking artwork published by various forums and social media platforms. So people we have confirmed. We got some new characters, obviously. Marissa, Mimi, Riri or Lily, JP, Kimberly. Kimberly was the one they teased at the end of this trailer. And then AKI. Don't know about them. The 22 character roster from Street Fighter 2 original lineup of World Warriors. Okay, so these are the characters returning based on this leak. So we got Ryu, we got Ken, we got Zangief, Dhalsim, E Honda, Blanca, Guile, Chun-Li, and then also returning from other Street Fighter titles are Cammy, DJ, Rashid, Yuri, Ed, and Akuma. So, if that's true, that sounds like a great roster, in my opinion. Once again, don't know too much about Street Fighter or have the background for it, but all these characters are very recognizable, and to me, that sounds solid. Street Fighter V's launch originally was like a little shy on their roster, so this seems cool. Everybody's got like a big redesign off that leak, and I think the redesigns look dope. Rashid was probably my most used besides Yuri in Street Fighter V, so I'm looking to dive back into both of those characters, seeing how their movesets have evolved. I'd love to dive back into Street Fighter V before this and kind of see if I can pick up on a few more things. Once again, shout out to Dio. He's like, it's never too late to dive into these. Obviously, a lot of people have the experience from playing these for 6 years, but honestly, no. It's if you want to go back in and learn, you should definitely do that. So, yeah, I think out of this roster, Akuma's always been somebody I've gone to, whether it's Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter in general. I know he's a glass cannon, doesn't have a lot of health, but I just like Akuma's look, especially in 5. The lion looked dope. So Akuma, Rashid, and Yuri would probably be my go-to 3, at least to try out and have some excitement with. And then I also mentioned Jamie. Jamie just looks dope with the break dancing moveset, so I'd be excited to try them out as well and see how they perform. So Street Fighter 6 was probably the biggest reveal for me coming out of this state of play. But we did get one more reveal. I think it was at the end of Final Fantasy 16 being announced to launch in summer of 2023. So it seems like they're going to be doing a lot of polishing on this game. I think they've announced a few times on social media that they have gone gold with the game, which means they're essentially done with everything. Or sorry, maybe they didn't say the term gone gold, but they did say that they're finished with everything, and now it's that polish that they're doing. So it seems like they're doing a lot of that to get the gone gold status. We'll see. Excited for, once again, those Final Fantasy fans. I don't know if Final Fantasy will ever be like the big moment for me until FF7 Remake 2 kicks in, which I know a lot of people who are watching and listening now are like, Bret, you didn't even play FF7 Part 1 all the way through yet. What are you talking about? And I say, shut up. I'm going to. It's on the backlog, but I could still be excited because other people get so excited for FF7. Yes. Mm-hmm. Peanut Gallery. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been making it through my backlog.
It's on the backlog.
It is. I made it through Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, Nobody Saves the World. I just did Unpacking. I just did that other game that I'm blanking on right now. Holy shit, Tome. Made it through that. I'm replaying Horizon Zero Dawn right now to go into Horizon Forbidden West. Enter the Gungeons on my backlog, and I started that. I think I'm doing pretty good at this.
I kind of can't argue with that.
Yeah. Shut it.
I still say, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. It's on there. Or Final Fantasy 15. Yes, Rainbow, that's on there too, technically. Anyways. So, yes. It's another one of like, hey, people are excited. I'm happy for you. FF16's coming out. They're so like disconnected, the Final Fantasy games, which is nice because you don't have to play through all of them to experience and enjoy the individual numbers. But maybe that's what kind of gets me like, I don't really care. But there are definitely titles that have stood out before. We've talked about Final Fantasy X and X-2 and my slight experience with that with the PlayStation 2 era. I'd like to try those again. I don't know if they'll hook me. Trying Final Fantasy 15 for a stream, thanks to Rainbow and her channel points, was a lot of fun. I am looking forward to playing more of that at some point, whether it's on stream or just on my own. Final Fantasy 7, playing it originally on the PS1, I was an ignorant kid and being like, oh, they got 2 little polygons, blah, blah, blah. My PS2 era is the best. Didn't give it a fair shake there. Playing Remake 1 is really good. I got distracted. That's on me. But I did really, really enjoy my time with that game when it did come out. And then we all know Tactics, but Tactics Advance on Game Boy Advance, well, we're probably never going to see that again. No remaster for that game. If we do, like Bender and Futurama, shit bricks. I'll just say that. Anyways, Tactics Advance, I have a lot of love and, passion for that game. But it's probably dead in the water, all those Tactics games. So, going with the main titles. Personally, excitement levels, yeah, but happy for people. Happy that they're going to go there. Let's see. Papa Bear, stop beating up Enigma. It's fine. Oh, you and Rainbow were piling on. He's teasing. Rainbow's interested in Final Fantasy 16. Nice. You doubt will hold the same magic of 15 did for you, but reserve judgment for when it comes out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got a year. So you got some time, but should be fun. It seems like they're going that faster paced, like fighting style, similar to a Devil May Cry. Obviously 15 had faster elements. So interesting that they're deciding to go this more action heavy route instead of like the turn-based of more traditional Final Fantasy or early in number. So yeah, interesting to see the evolution of that and where that continues. I did forget one game, and I don't know how I did because this is Peanut Gallery Ladies Game of the Year when it comes out.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
Is Stray. Coming out June, July.
You play the whole game as a cat? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're essentially a cat in a world where there's no humans and there's these robots and you platform and figure out stuff. Does that sound odd from my selling point? Yes. Am I selling this well enough? No. But looks interesting. I'm down to give it a try. I remember this popping up on Facebook years and years ago, and I remember the group chat, Billy, Dio, and John, all four of us talking about it, being like, Billy, this is a game for you, and then seeing it actually revealed Game Awards officially, and then now we get a full gameplay trailer out of it. It's exciting. It's exciting to see the progress of this game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes overall. I know obviously the cat fans like Moose here will be looking forward to jumping into it. I don't know if it will fully reach Game of the Year quality contender, but you know, we'll see what kind of story they portray. You know, they've had titles before, or there have been titles before that have had strong narratives through a silent protagonist. So we'll have to see how this cat holds up in Stray. Yeah, you like the idea. It doesn't get better as playing as a cat. It's true. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the state of play that happened last week. Excited. There's always a lot of game reveals over the summer. I know E3 is not happening this year, but Jeff Keighley is kind of, once again, taken over the gaming announcement spectrum stuff. I know he's doing his Summer Game Fest this year again, similar to last year. So excited for more reveals, announcements. I believe Xbox and Bethesda have their thing coming up on June 12th. So coming up, is that a Sunday? It is a Sunday. So I believe that's coming up real quick. So excited to see what announcements they have there. Maybe we'll talk about that on the podcast next week. But yeah, it's just a fun time. There's a lot of good shit out there, and I just want to see it. I also forgot about another game. I don't know how I did. I had the list fucking right in front of my face. Callisto Project. Or Dead Space reimagined spooky shit. Looks cool. Will I play it? No. I will leave that to Jeff to play that. That looks scary as fuck. I'm good. Nope. Nah. Yeah. Looks beautiful. The graphics look great. It looks like more Dead Space. I have very limited experience with Dead Space 3. When Jeff and I tried to play it co-op, thanks a lot, EA online servers. But yeah, that's one I'm probably going to skip out on and just live vicariously through someone else. Nick's interested. I'm not surprised Genghis is interested in that game. That man is sadistic. No, I'm just kidding. I hope he enjoys it. I hope he has a lot of fun with it. I don't remember the exact release date of that one. I don't remember if that was this year or next year. But yeah, that's one I'm going to be avoiding with a 10-foot stick. And just watching from afar. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, moving on. So, state of play looks good. PlayStation obviously making a lot of good stuff. Hopefully they can continue that. Hopefully they can continue that along with obviously other developers or systems, PC, Xbox, Nintendo, Keep it up. Let's keep having fun with games. And make my backlog even worse.